Welcome back to the Sunday Roast, round 15 edition, the show that celebrates the winners and roasts all the losers, the show that gives you all the best odds of the weekend, the show that's hoping they don't fuck up the audio on the one time Dad leaves to Japan, and we fucked it, and we're filthy about it. But Dobe, as always, you're joining me. How are you, brother?
Jev, I could not be better. Yeah, we sort of buggered up the pod. We checked the audio, and then we went back to do it again, and it was absolutely butchered. I was thinking, are we too gun shy, or do we do the 100K pod like this on Tuesday?
Nah. We go back to the studio. We have another crack at it. We just check every 5 minutes, and Morg can edit it out. We can't be gun shy.
All right, so for the listeners out there, I hope you're a Blues and Swans fan, because this is going to be like listening to First Things First or First Take, and it's the Dallas Cowboys and the Lakers, Jev, because we're getting to that part of the season that this is exactly what it's going to be every week. The Swans are 1, the Blues are 2. We're not going to face each other to the grand final. We're locking that in. We're locking that in right now. This is an absolute lock. We've been talking about it for weeks on the show. We will be flying up for the Friday prelim to watch the Swans. We'll all be wearing our Swans gear. Then we fly back the next day, little Airbnb in Richmond, Jev. We go straight there, straight to the tavern, straight into the G, and then we're all wearing our Carlton stuff. Jevy's going to be wearing a Carlton scarf. We're all going to be happy. And then we get the week, we're going to enjoy it, the parade. We're probably going to get our own little float, Jev, down the Yarra or whatever they decide to do down Punt Road this year. We're going to enjoy it, Jev. We're going to enjoy it.
All right, let's calm down a little. I feel bad for people that listen to this that aren't Swans and Carlton supporters this weekend, but we have to go all the way back to Friday night. The Blues beat the Cats by 63 points, gave them an absolute flogging. You are the Blues man on this podcast. You go first.
Yeah, so fans, trust me, we will get on to everyone else, but you can understand why we're a little bit excited here. My team's been dog shit for years, so just bear with me. So in round 7, when we lost to the Cats by 13 points, which I reckon should have been a bit more, we got a late run on those goals, and then
about 5-6 goals with like 5 minutes ago, yeah.
But I'd like to say, and pretty much they're close to almost the same teams on the park. They had Parfitt in, I think they had Reece Stanley in, and we obviously didn't have Sard, McGovern and Chincotta. That's the only real difference in the side. But from start to finish, we were unbelievable. And hand on my heart, I can genuinely say this is the best Carlton win I've ever seen in my life. Now, the reason why I say that, yes, we've taken scalps in the past and you can look at that sort of stuff, but the fact that we're a better team now, that holds so much more merit when you win a game. It's not just a fluke. So we've sort of been climbing up to this point. I don't think we've been playing that well this year. Like, we've still been winning, but I thought on the weekend was unbelievable. We went to work for 4 quarters. And yeah, after seeing them in round 7, we obviously went and watched the tape and we absolutely slapped them across the park. Now, Jev, I just want to reheat some of my own soup for a second. So on the pod, after we beat Port Adelaide, I said this is Carlton's formula if we want to win. TDK playing pretty much all-time ruck, and because he can assist in clearances and hit the scoreboard. That's a tick. Harry Mackay being able to pinch hit in the ruck, which he had to. He can get up the ground. And then obviously he's a really good option down forward. Charlie as well. Try and get him as many one-on-ones as he can, because small defenders, or if he gets a loose matchup, they panic. They give away free kicks. That's another tick. And also when he's up the ground, he's through balls the best in the league, Jev. Him and Jez Cameron, when they get their opportunities. Then I said Kemp and McGovern, if they can play as much of a lockdown role as they can, so then Wiedering and then Kemp can actually go to work, and then Lockie Cowan as well. Now, obviously on the weekend was a little bit of an outlier just because of that Hawkins matchup. It's just a lock. If Hawkins plays, Wiedering goes to him. It's the best matchup in football that Wiedering actually wins. Like, they're just two bulls, yeah. And then I said the ball surgeons. These are the guys you want the ball in your hand. So it's Boyd, Sard, Newman. What they do on the weekend, that was exactly what they did. Then I said our diffusers, guys that we just need to put pressure on and make it a rough night. I said Kennedy, Hewitt, Fogarty, and Chincotta. Was that not all ticks? Absolutely. Yep. Our runners, I said Akers, the Hollands boys, and Cottrell. Obviously, Cottrell wasn't there. And then the engine room, Cripps and Walsh. I said at that point, it's really good to see the fact that it didn't just have to be Cripps getting all the inside ball and then Walsh on the outside. They're flipping roles. Like Cripps had 41. Walsh had 33. And then I just said the small forwards. So you got Zach Williams and Owies and co. But there's so much that I could go through, Jev. De Koning had an unbelievable game. He's one of the most exciting players to watch at the moment. And I just think right now, if you lined up all the captains in the AFL, Jev, and you put them against the wall, all the captains, and you were picking one for the All-Australian, who stands out for you most, who honours that? At the start of the year, I said probably Merritt. And then you could select Bont as well, I'd be happy with. But I think it's Patrick Cripps has got it absolutely locked up. The way that he plays, the way that he carries himself, the way that he leads his team, he's having his best season, whether he wins a Brownlow or not. He should be in top 4, top 5, but he's having a hell of a season, the way that he goes about it. But Paddy Cripps, I could not be happier with how we played on the weekend. I could go for an hour on all this stuff. I just think we won every matchup. As a non-Carlton fan, Jeb, or Geelong fan, what did you see most and what impressed you?
Yeah, so that first half for Carlton was 10 out of 10 perfect footy. They could not have played a better game of footy in that first half. As you said, you could not script it better. They were perfection in that first half. And then, you know that scene in Step Brothers where the bullies make Dale and whoever eat white dog shit?
Yeah.
Tom De Koning made Sam De Koning eat white dog shit in that first quarter. He just little brothered him a little bit, didn't he? He just said, come here, little fella. I loved that matchup. Watching those two go head-to-head was awesome. And you got to give Sam De Koning a bit of love because he was awesome as well on the night. He had a great game after quarter time. He was really good. Tom De Koning was out of this world, out of this world good. I'm doing the pyramid, not this week on the pod, the next week. So we've finally got a game where all 18 teams play again. We've got a week. So it's pyramid next week. And there's a few out. Petrarca's going out. He's done for the year. Sam Taylor's going out. He's going to be out for a while. There's going to be a few spots. I think TDK, if he's not the 21st, he's the 22nd or the 23rd best player in the comp. He's going to be so close to coming in. And it's not just off that game. It's just the way he's been dominating games lately. Yeah, and it was just nearly a perfect Carlton's performance. As you said, I want to get into this little grand final preview we're talking about later in the show, right at the end when people have stopped listening because they're sick of us. You and me will just talk about it and the diehards can keep listening. But Geelong, if I was a Geelong supporter, I would be fucking furious at that. They were dog shit. Are they a golfing team and not a fucking football team? All I ever hear out of Geelong is how good the whole club is at golf. And over their bye, they went on a golf weekend. And Jez is off 7. And Thingy's off 4. And Mitch Duncan's off 2. And Brad Close is coming. He's off 5. They can't kick the fucking ball, Das.
They can't,
How
Jeff.
bad were they kicking inside 40, the inside 45s? Carlton were just hunting on it. It was just so hard to watch where they were turning the ball over sometimes. Their kicking was horrific. The only way they were winning that game, so every single Carlton player on the field probably played 8 out of 10 or above. They were all awesome.
Yeah.
You just outplayed them in every single position on the field. Carlton were better than Geelong, except for they needed Jez Cameron to kick 12 to lose that game by 15 points, I reckon. He was the only one that looked dangerous. Him and Sam De Koning were the only ones that looked like we're better than what Carlton are. Apart from that, it was just all Carlton. They can't kick. They just can't kick. And then Chris Scott will say something stupid this week, how he'll blame a bye or he'll say something dumb about the umpires or the travel or whatever. They can't kick and they just play golf. Just start working on your kick, fellas. I'm fucking sick of it. So all the credit to Carlton. They are clearly the second best team in the comp right now. They're so dangerous. That was the perfect game of football. If you're a Carlton fan, you win on a Friday night like that, you're just relieved. You're like, that was just perfection. But if I'm a Geelong fan, I'm like, that is dog shit. Absolute dog shit.
100%. Especially, so also I have to give a quick shout out to Connor O'Brien, one of our faithful listeners. Before the game, he quickly, Jev, you messaged me, you said, hey, we've got a DM. Someone wants to have a bet with you. I had a look. It was Connor. Great man. And he just wanted to know, Das, do you want to have a slab on it? Mate, I'll have your slab. I'll have whatever you want on it. And it was all over too early, Jeff, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
so
you reckon, my 30th this weekend, Das, you reckon you can get that slab delivered straight to Parkdale and we'll drink it this weekend? What do you reckon?
I reckon I can.
We'll get some 196s from Connor or something.
Nah,
some hard solos.
I won't sting him that much. I'll just go with slab of Northerns. I was thinking some double jacks and just like really. Nah, I won't do that.
$200 slab.
So, Jeff, before I just really want to go over some, like, we have to get into some more roasting. So, Hawkins is done. Let's take him out the back. Let's take him out to his farm in Finley. Let's
just hope that's not the last time we see him.
But Jeff, to be honest, he's had about 500 farewells in the last year, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Breaking game records, the most ever with Joel Selwood. He's 350th. Most goals at Geelong. Most
Geelong games
before
played.
a luncheon.
Yeah, he really has.
He's had
that many
everything.
Celebrations.
Another one, Jeff, we have to look at. Jack Bowes had the weakest effort of the year. Did you see the one with Chincotta, how he decided to bump instead of tackle? And then it just went forward? Oh, it was
a shocker.
Yeah, you don't want that on the tape. And also, I just want to have a look. So, Chris Scott, I get he was trying to move the magnets around, Jev. You know, he's trying to put Tom Stewart forward, just trying to mix it up. But how many times do you allow the handover for Colin Jasny and Duncan to swap onto Curnow and then shit themselves? Like, what are you thinking?
Yep.
He's the best forward in the comp.
You got to have the same man on him.
How isn't that Henry on him? How isn't that like? Why isn't Tom Stewart just playing on him? And like you just try and play a lockdown role. Like I just don't understand how that happened. So I had to screenshot this, Jeff. Since 2022, the most amount of goals. I'm sure you would have seen it. Curnow's in front. 187.
Yeah.
Second is Jeremy Cameron, 145. Taylor Walker, 140. And Larkey, 137.
So he's nearly kicked 50 goals more than the competition.
So that's how many snags he's kicking. And it's just like, what are we doing? Like,
how fucking impressive was he when the ball was hitting the ground and he was picking it up off the ground and still those little he kicked 2 crumb goals, one on the left, one on the right. And you're just like, even on the ground now, you're the most dangerous forward in the comp sort of thing. He's just at the peak of peak form right now.
Listen to the interview after. We're almost getting on to 12 minutes, but he said, like Jack Rewalt's like he's still, even though he's kicked 5, like you just still feel he hasn't like really ripped the game open. Which is true.
Like he's got 4 or 5 more out there. They haven't even kicked it to him enough times.
Well, they said he's probably got a bag of 8 or 9, and Gazline's like, mate, if he's on, he should be kicking 15.
Oh God,
that's how much it is. Hopefully Morgs don't. I'm looking for all these screenshots, Jev, and I don't think for the first game it saved. It said that I'm out of battery.
Right, so you don't have this game.
Oh, I thought I did. I definitely screenshot, but it said that they didn't save.
Oh well,
fuck.
That's all right. Is what it is. No, do you have any idea what Cripps paid for 40?
I think it was like $21.
And Curnow for 5, any idea?
Oh, he was like $14.
I'll tell you what Curnow was for 5. He was $6 on PointsBet. Pretty sure.
$6 for 5.
$6. I'll tell you what Curnow was for 40. 23-1 for 40. Charlie Curnow.
Wow.
Any other big ones?
How are you finding that?
On the StatMate app. But they've only got the biggest markets.
Oh,
Matt Ollies was $5.50 for 3. Any others?
No goals. That's it. Chincotta for 2.
Conning 25-1. That was about a $7 multi. I'm pretty sure because someone DM'd it to us like take DeConning 25-1.
Wow, that's a good bet. The DeConnings would have been. They would have had both boys for.
Yeah,
touches.
20-1, 25-1. If you had the DeConing multi, God, I'd love to know what that paid.
Oh,
Might be able to find what Sam DeConing paid. Yeah, he was 9-1 for 20 touches. Sam DeConing. Tom DeConning, you don't have. And for 1 goal, Sam DeConing was 7-1. So, Lockie Cowan, 7-1. Nick Newman, 6-1.
So, if we're looking at we end up winning by 63 points. It was an absolute landslide.
It was a drumming.
So, we had this game, and we actually had a couple other drummings, but that was the best performance we've ever had as a team.
Yep.
And we were talking about some potential people to come back in. So, Cottrell, if he does come back in, which I think that he does from the role that he did last year, he will come in for Ollie Hollins. I think he's stiff, but I think he just gets pushed off the ball a little bit. And I just think Cottrell definitely gets that spot at least back in the side.
Yeah. I think Ollie Hollins looks a tiny bit like a little boy out there sometimes, doesn't he?
I think Motlop will at least get a chance for Durden.
Motlop for Durden, so the little selfish cunt keeps his spot. Matt Owies, yep.
Yep. We had Jack Martin.
Or Motlop comes in for Razio Fantasia, or is that Jack Martin?
Yeah, so Orazio will come in. Martin will come in for Orazio.
Okay,
so at least he'll start. And then who else do we have?
Chera.
And then so I said probably Matt Kennedy, who's stiff.
Oh, that would be so stiff.
But like who else you taking?
So stiff. And then I know Sam Doherty's not coming back, but even whose spot would he take?
And then if Jack Silvani was there?
Jesus. There you go. So, Jesse Motlop's been playing twos. He was an emergency.
Yeah, so he's finally back playing. So that's what I mean. I think he'll. You definitely got to give those guys a crack.
So now, we've seen DeConning play like that. So let's just say that's the team for grand final day. Do you reckon games like who you got this week? Richmond. You pick Pitnet to take a little load off De Koning. So then when you play the next week, I don't know, you say you play Collingwood or GWS, then you make it back to it's De Koning one out against the big games. And you sort of, you give him a bit of load management by picking Pitnet sort of thing. Because if he becomes the number one ruck for the rest of the year, you see how much it wears down Max Gawn and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Is it sort of like, no, Pitnet, be ready. You're going to play every second week, but grand final day, it's De Koning one out sort of thing.
Yeah, I reckon. That's the luxury you get, isn't it? If you can sort of separate yourself and finish 1 and 2 or close to that, you can start to mix it up a little bit and just prime yourself. So as long as you got that spot locked up, but yeah, no, 100%. Well, I definitely think they'll be throwing some magnets around, seeing what will be best for the team, and then coming to finals, you got hopefully just 3 games. You go bang, bang, bang straight in. But yeah, huge win. Very happy. But the next game, Jev, was an absolute ass kicking.
All right, we've just gone 16 minutes on the Blues. We're going to be in trouble. People might have turned off. But next game, the Lions beat Port Adelaide at Adelaide Oval on Port's 20-year grand final celebrations, where they beat the Lions in the grand final by 79 fucking points. An absolute ass whooping, little boying shit show. Oh my God. I was playing footy and then watching the scenes. So I didn't see a heap of this game. And then I watched some vision. It is and I was listening to Triple M. It was embarrassing. You go first.
Now, I hate to say it, but I was absolutely spot on about Port Adelaide, saying that they are not that good. And I may have gone a year or two too early, but I've been hot on fire Ken Hinkley, Jev.
Yeah, maybe you were right all along.
It was about 2 years ago, but I've been so hot on this. Now, look, I love Butters. I love the way he plays footy, but on the weekend, him and the team, they weren't good defensively. Now, Jev, what's the old saying? Don't get beat by what you know.
Yeah.
Yeah? Or don't do the same thing expecting a different outcome. That's usually what it is.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we have a look at Port Adelaide? So they didn't have a ruckman. So
they had Sweet.
Yeah. But the last few years, so they've had Lyset, they've had Laddams. In recent years, it's not working. And then they pick up Jordan Sweet and Ivan Soldo when you have the Adelaide-born bread and butter Brody Grundy on the table. But
for a bag of chips.
Don't worry about him. We're going to get Sweet. We're going to get Soldo. We're going to be all good in the ruck. And then you know where else they've really struggled the last couple of years, Jev? Down back.
Yes.
Tom Jonas, Trent McKenzie, just a little bit slow, not big enough, not strong. You know what? We're going to replace him with Asava Radigalea and Brandon Zerk-Thatcher. And the end of the day, we've gone through and then we've traded out a first-round pick. So their first pick this year, Jev, I think is 34 or 33. And they're right back to where they were. So their off-season work was horrendous. They're doing the exact same thing, and they just got absolutely muscled, Jev. Our man Hip Thrush, he must have found, it might be the Farmers Union Greek yogurt.
Ooh,
I'm not sure exactly what he's using. It's good stuff. It is good stuff. So maybe he's putting that, but he kicked 5. And just watching most of the time where like the big forwards, they just sort of jump at the same ball. They're all running in different directions now. And Oscar McInerney took Jordan Sweet to the absolute he took him to the deep end, like the deepest of ends.
He kicked 3.
Kicked 3. No, but there was one up on the wing. He gets it. There's a free kick. He sees Jordan Sweet. He's tired, so he runs a mark. And then Oscar McInerney just runs all the way to full forward. He has Dan Houston on him. He just says, kick it on my head, takes the mark, goes back, kicks the goal. It was an unbelievable team performance. Lockie Neal went nuts. Yeah, Porter shit.
Yeah. It just does, like, Do you feel at training, like over the off-season stuff, they looked around and said, look at the talent we've got in the midfield. Look at this talent coming off half-back. Look at this. And all they did was just practice when they've got the ball in their hand. How slick are we? How slick are we? We're the Kings of Adelaide. Like, when we win the ball, it's Horn-Francis, it's Rosie, it's Farrell, it's Houston. It's kicking to that forward line. It's Big Dixon, Marshall, Georgios. Everyone's getting a lick. And then when it comes to fucking heading the casserole, putting your head over the ball, or defending with your life, like running both ways like it means something, I just feel like, you know, the old you and me line up to each other, roll the ball out in front of us, and let's just compete one-on-one. I feel like they haven't done that at training. It was Bruges-free off-season where it's just all ball movement. All get it in Farrell and Houston's hands. Look how good we are at kicking the footy. Like Butters breaking away. I love Butters. I never want to talk shit about Butters. I think he's a sensational footy. But Rosie's such a front runner. Horn's a bit of a front runner. Like Horn doesn't do that hard ass Errol Goulden running to all that. Blake Hager, I know they're wingers, but running into the back line to defend. They don't do that, do they? They run one way, and like Brisbane just test them. And this is one thing I've got two theories on, Dust. So who are the last two teams to win the premiership?
Collingwood, Geelong.
Neither of them ever tagged anyone. They just backed their system. Collingwood and Geelong just backed their system. Last year, Collingwood did not give a fuck who they were playing. They played the same way every single week, and it was like, beat us if you can. If not, we're going to beat you. Same as Geelong. They just, remember they went on that 17-game win streak. They didn't give a fuck about the opposition. They were just hot at the right time. But now the top two teams in the comp, and it's daylight, I reckon. I reckon it's daylight between Swans and Carlton, and it's daylight again. But the Swans, like, they tag every week. So James Jordan went to Lachie Whitfield. We'll get to this game in a minute. They stood on Tom Green after half-time. Rowbottom did a bit of a job. Carlton tagged Tom Stewart, this, that. They don't get beaten by the opposition's best player. That's like their first tick. The last two times Port Adelaide have played Brisbane, they've kept Lachie Neal to 19 and 20 touches, right? So they know, and they beat Brisbane at home last year. So they know, you know, slowing down Lachie Neal goes a long way. I'm looking at Lachie Neal's stats here, Das. 37 touches.
He took the piss.
He took the fucking piss. 37 touches. How many like score involvements? 11 score involvements, 2 goal assists. How many contested touches did he have? Like, how many clearances? 10 clearances. Like, so just don't get beaten by the reigning Brownlow medals. At least put Willem Drew on him. Like, what is going on? And it just, does it look like Ken's lost the players? Has Ken lost the players?
100%. And that's why I'm a big fan of when they say, what are you saying, AFL coaching about 10 years is a spot. I feel once you've been there, like, imagine you had the same teacher for 10 years or the same boss. Like, I don't know, like it's always good to hear a new voice, a fresh voice. But when you're watching them run, like defensively, they were horrendous. Like, it was you're just watching, and the fans are booing. Like, I feel most clubs have been there. Carlton have been there a lot, where they're like you're booing, and it's more out of frustration. It's just like we're rocking up every week and we're seeing the same thing. It's like when you're watching the game, it's like every fan would have said that, Jeb. All right, let's tag Lachie Neal. Yeah. Let's not let him destroy us. But I don't get, we like, especially playing footy, as long as we have, like, you always, most of the time, if the opposition's got a really good player, you tag them.
It doesn't have to be a tag. Just every stoppage, stand on him, know where he is on the ground. Like, just make it hard for him. Yeah. I saw this one, Kane Corn showed on the Sunday Footy Show. It was Buddy Berry and Lachie Neal winning the ball off the ground in a ring of Port Adelaide players, like winning it in tight. And then they kicked it downfield, quick kick. Then the first two players there were Berry and Lachie Neal on the outside getting a handball receives. And then here comes the Port Adelaide players just running behind them. Like, they must be so arrogant in a two-state town that they think they are perfect. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, they think they are perfect, and they just get dog-walked by good opposition.
Yeah, I just genuinely can't believe that most teams don't. It's like, you look at Tom Stewart. The tape's there. Yeah. Just stop. You can't let him do what he wants to. It's like with Nick Dacos. Even if he gets a hold of you, every week someone should be going to him, because you can't let him do what he wants. You got to make it a tough night for him.
Max Gawn last night, we'll get to this game later, said We saw a stat over North's last 5 wins. Nick Larkey's been the best player on the field their last 5 wins, and he's kicked 4 or 5 in each of those wins. So it's like they put a heap of effort into making it hard for Nick Larkey because the only way they're going to lose that game is if Nick Larkey got off the chain. It's like everyone knows it. Everyone knows you got to slow down Lachie Neale, but fucking hell, even the Saints tagged anyway. Porter weak as water. Weak as water.
Do you have odds on this one?
Yeah,
Did you
I do.
get this one?
I do.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got Jeremy Finlayson kick the first at 15-1. I've got Port Adelaide goal kickers. Any Port Adelaide goal kickers?
Yeah, our man Mitch Georgiades for 3. The Greek pizza with the
$3.90.
That's good. Ollie Lord for 2.
Your man Ollie Lord was $2.95.
Todd Marshall with only 1 goal. He's having a weak season.
Talk about thrush. All right, let's go. Brisbane goal kickers. Hitwood for 5, 26-1.
Danaher for 3.
$3.05. That's delicious.
Oscar McInerney for 3. You probably can't even get him.
Oscar McInerney, you can only get him for 1 at $3.90. I could find that on. Give me 2 seconds, stat mate here. 26-1 on the tab.
That's awesome. And Cameron only 2. That's no good. And touches. Let's go. Lachie Neale and Butters both for 35.
Just go Port Adelaide first. Zach Butters, $8.75 for 35.
Rosie 25.
Oh, fuck that weekend. No, that's not nice. $2.50. So he's come back from injury. That would have been nice value.
And that's about it. Go Kane. Go Lachie Neale for 35.
Lachie Neale for 35. $6.75. He was 19-1 for 40. That would have been nice.
Dunkley for 30.
$4.30. Geez, I called that in the 100K. There's going to be a Dunkley game.
And Bailey and Zorko for 25.
Zorko's only $1.65 for 25, and Zach Bailey $11.50 for 25.
Got up the ground, so that would be one to look at. Also, this was the first game, and we were out of the 100K because Lohman got injured.
Oh my god, Kyle Lohman gets a corky. I was so flat. He kicks one every week.
He does.
We got Lohman in, he gets a cork, and he subbed out in about that mid part of the third quarter so it doesn't get voided. And you're like, fuck's sake. Anyway, he had the whole first half to kick game. Moving on, Ken's getting fired. This is Ken's last year. And just that thing you said about 10 years as the coach. So a coach can hang around. So like John Longmire's been there for longer than 10 years. But we've played in grand finals. We go deep. He's got that ruthless edge and he's got that winning edge. Port Adelaide have won bugger all. And it's like, how did you think Ken was going to win the flag when he hasn't even gone close to it before? So, I don't know, maybe we're being harsh. He's played a couple of prelims.
On that, I think what helps with that, and you could see John Longmire or someone like Dimmer, because they've got those pathway programs, he's got his fingerprints all over it. So he's with the kids, from the young academy from when they're 12. Like he's known Errol since he was like 12 or
11,
something.
Yeah,
there you go. So like he actually is a lot more involved. Like Port Adelaide, I don't think they have a pathway program or anything. It's just like you're the head coach. While at least it's at, well, obviously it looks like Dean Cox might be your next coach, but at least
I love that we hire from within. Anyway, next game, the Showtime Swans win by 27 points over the Giants. This was a good old-fashioned ass-kicking das. Again, we show why we are the best team in the competition when we kick 10 unanswered goals in a row. You go first and then let me cook.
Yeah, Jev, it was thereabouts in the first quarter. It was a bit of a shit one. I thought it was a pissing down rain at that stage.
It was fucking sideways
on TV,
raining.
it looked like it was like on and off. And then the Swans just come out in the second term, Jev, and just lay down the hammer. We call it the red and white avalanche. If there's the orange tsunami, the red and white avalanche absolutely comes at you at full steam. As you did mention, if Tom Green, if he's killing you, yes, you don't have to be that arrogant to be like, yeah, we've got Warner, Goulden, Heaney, all these other stars. It's like, well, yeah, we know Robottom's had like 8 to 10 touches in the first quarter. Fuck it. You're a good tagger. I want you to go stand with him. And then you just neutralise that contest and everyone just comes along with it. You had a Marty kick 9 last week. He only kicked a point. He bit fumbly, dropping some. That's fine. Hayden McLean next up. We'll get you to take some. Logan McDonald will get you to kick some. Papley run up and down towards it's just a perfect team game. And the way that players like McInerney, I heard this stat just before, Jeb, he's the only player to have played 200 minutes in each section of the ground. So as a forward, as a defender, as an inside midfielder, and
a winger.
A winger, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only player in the AFL that's
Yeah.
played 200 minutes in each section.
Just a footballer.
Just like whatever you need. And they were just watching where there was a stoppage on the back end of the ground and there's 3 or 4 swans, Jev. They just go head down and just run. And then they're up interfering like the next contest. Like all you see on your camera screen is someone come in, they have a tip ball, but they've run 250 meters to get to that. And that's on the tape and that's what you see. And we're not even talking about Chad Warner having 20 and 2. I'm sure you will, but you did call it. Like Bedford doesn't want to be playing with him out of the cage. These players don't want it. Like Tom Green doesn't want someone hanging off him the whole game.
Yep.
And then when that's happening, you have the other guys bumping through. You said Grundy would wear down the opposition. Like it was a smashing. It was an absolute smashing, Jev.
So we were up by 3 points. We were up by 3 points at quarter time, and it was a good, hard-fought battle. Tom Green had about 15 touches in the first quarter. Like, he was going head-to-head with Heaney, and he was beating him. And there was a few contests he beat him. It was a good contest. It was good to watch. We're up by 3 points. Then we kicked 10 unanswered goals, I'm pretty sure. So they kicked the first of the thingo. Then we kicked 10 in a row. But I don't know if you heard Adam Kingsley at halftime. He got interviewed walking off the ground, and it's he's like, the contested possession numbers were the exact same. The clearances were the same. The inside 50s were the same. But we kicked 10 in a row because we're just better than them. So it's sort of like a roulette spin. If there's been 5 reds in a row, you go, oh, black stew. But it actually doesn't matter because the ball spins again. It's a complete 50-50. So every time the ball went back to the middle, the Giants go, righto, we're even in inside 50s, clearances, contested ball. Let's keep going head-to-head with him because all the stats are saying the same. We don't need to slow anyone. And then it ended up with a Swans goal. And then it ended up with a Swans goal. And it ended up with a Swans goal because they're letting guys like Errol Goulden, who's like a top 7 player in the competition, just run around out there on his own. Like, Chad Warner, they're trying to tag him. Bedford's doing an all right job. Righto, Bedford. You ever played out of the goal square, young fella? Come with me. 2 goals in a quarter. Like, they just ended the game like that. Brodie Grundy, here, come on, Kieran Breach, can you run with me sort of thing? Like, that's when all the team stuff you do and as a system, and it's when talent takes over. And we just took over. Like, absolutely took over. It was fucking great to watch.
So we need to start putting coaches on notice on the roast, Jev. Don't get beat by what you know.
Yes.
So if Fremantle versus the Dogs again and they don't go to Bontempelli,
yes,
you're an idiot.
Yes.
If Goulden has won 3 Brett Kirk medals in a row, if someone doesn't go to him, we go with the coach. So we're going to look at next week's matchup soon, and we're going to have a look at something like if there's someone there, it's like, if Fev kicks 7 on Harry O'Brien every time, let's not put Harry O'Brien on him.
8 on him the next time.
Like 15 in 2 games it was, Jeff. It was unbelievable.
So Errol's had 41 touches, 1 goal, 970-something metres gained. He's had a kilometre kick forward with the football with 41. It doesn't even have to be a tag. Just make possessions harder for him. Like if he's won 2 Brett Kirk medals in a row, just make it a little bit harder for him. And I don't know, because remember this week you and me were talking about inside the Giants building, do they think Josh Kelly's actually their best player? Errol Goulden just went and stood on Josh Kelly and said, righto, let's see your arrogance versus our arrogance. Like who's going to have more impact on this game? Because we're not going to play on each other. And he just gave him a bath.
Yeah.
Like Josh Kelly was really good as well. Not a head-to-head bath, but an impact on the game was just Errol just killing it.
Well, so here we go. So Josh Kelly had 10 touches in the first quarter. I didn't mean a multi. So he had 10 in the first quarter. And then it got to a stage within 15 minutes. They kicked 2 points, the Giants.
Yeah.
Kelly hadn't had a touch, and the Swans had kicked 6 goals too.
Yep.
In 15 minutes. And then that's it. There's a game. Yep. And he wasn't able to touch it within 15 minutes. So I was going to ask you, is it getting a bit pathetic at this stage, Chev? The comp, he shattered that you're like, oh, it's just another ass whooping. What's it for other people out there? Is this just like Roman Reigns rocking up every weekend, the wrestling, and just he's just going to kick their ass and he's going to hold the title for a while.
So that was one of the 3 games we might lose for the rest of the year. Tick. So we won it. Giants at Giants Stadium, we've won that. There's 2 games to go that we could lose. Brisbane at the Gabba.
Yeah.
And then it was Port Adelaide at Adelaide, which will now go in like 30-point favourites, won't we?
Oh, easy.
And then the only other one will be round 24, Essendon at Marvel Stadium, where it's sort of like
Locked up.
We're going to have top spot locked up, but done. And I just wanted to like...
But you don't want 2 weeks off.
Now, I know we're one of the best teams I've ever seen, but I wanted to reassure it today. So we've points 4, we've kicked 100 more points than the next team in the competition, which is Carlton. Right? So you've kicked 1366 for the year. We've kicked 1455. So we've kicked 90 more points.
3166 or 1366?
No, you've kicked 1,366.
Gotcha. Yeah,
1,366 points in total. We've kicked 1,455. So 90 more points than the second best.
Yeah.
Then points against. We're the only team that hasn't conceded 1,000 points yet. We're on 978.
Yeah, wow.
Next best is Melbourne and Brisbane on 1,071 and 1,078. Every other team's in the 1,300s or 1,100s and stuff. So like,
you know why Brisbane are always low in that?
Yeah.
It's not because they're so defensive. So they absolutely scalp teams at home.
Yeah.
And you know what else? Because every time they're on the road, they play these other teams. They play at these little fucking shit local grounds, and they're always low-scoring games.
Mars Stadium, Dogs Cuts games.
If they were playing at the G every week or like Marvel, they'd have 1 million scored on them.
Yeah, so we've got the most points for, the least points against, and it's pretty obvious we've got 3 top 10 players in the comp, and that's being generous. You could nearly say 3 top 6 players in the comp. We're watching an all-time team, and I absolutely love it. And everyone will start, like Fireball Friday, a couple of our group chats. Oh, do the Giants get the Swans today? They're right for the picking. No, the Giants aren't in the same class as the Swans. Like, that wasn't close. We were just better. And Joel Amati didn't kick a goal, but just watching him compete in the rain, everything came to ground. Everything just didn't get outmarked. He was playing on Lee Kalia. It was a good matchup, but he was still just working his ass off to compete. Like, it's all you want from your forward sometimes. Rowbottom was fantastic to us.
He was that one where he was on Tom Green and then just ran straight through the stoppage and then got it forward was like, that's when you knew like everyone is on. Do you have any odds for this one?
Yeah, all right, let's go. GWS goal kickers first. Your man Max Grucheski, the first game at $3.40 for 2.
He looked like he was having fun out there, Jeff.
Yeah, I was happy for him. Good on him. Jake Riccardi was $2.65 for 2.
And Callum Ward,
that would have been nice.
Jeff, he looks slow on the weekend.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't get Callum Ward for any here.
Toby Green for 1. No, don't worry about that.
Too short. Swans goals.
Happily 2. McLean 2. Warner
Happily 2 was $1.97. McLean was $3.90, which is nice. Chatty Boy, $2.15. We had 11 different goal kickers. So guys like James Jordan was $2.80. Will Hayward for 2. $1.88. Like they were all kicking him. Errol was $1.90. Adams was in the $2. Jake Lloyd was in the $2. So that was nice.
Give me, quick rundown on that Caden Cleary, guys. He's just been in the academy since he was like.
No, I actually don't know much about him. I think we drafted him like pick 38 or something.
Out of the academy, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I actually don't know enough about him.
Yeah,
good to see him kick a snag though with his first kick. How good was that? He got a Joe the Goose for his first kick in AFL.
If I was here, I would have turned around and pointed.
GWS disposals.
Tom Green, 35. So he would have saluted for a lot of multis out there. So thank you, Tom.
$3.90.
25 for Finn Callahan.
Our boy, the local produce, was $2.45. He's $6.25 for 30 to us. That's coming. Because he only had 8 touches at half time. Then he had 20 in the second half. So let's watch this Finn Callahan 30 touches, about $7.
And now here's a couple of big price points I'm excited to hear. So Errol Goulden for 40.
Oh, yeah. Errol for 40 was 13 to 1.
That's nice. Rowbottom for 30.
This will be heaps because I don't think he's had 30 this year. James Rowbottom, where are you? 23 to 1.
Wow. And he was tagging and Grundy for 25 again.
$2.90.
It's awesome.
Now, and then it was just, beautiful.
We'll be able to go through this on our actual pod, but I'm so excited. Look, I would be more than happy if Isaac Heaney wins the Brownlow.
Yeah.
I want to let you know, he's very deserving, but for the sake of the night and the betting and how much we fucking love it, it was good to see him not get 3 votes.
Dacos and Bont got lucky when they were having a bye week that he didn't get a 3. If he got 3, it was over. Because they would have still been on about that 19, 20 mark. I think he's on 23 by the Shark. He would have gone to 26. So now everyone's had their buys. He's on 23, I'm pretty sure. And then basically everyone else is on 20 and 19. Bont, Dacos, Errol, and Cripps are all about 20, 19 votes.
Yep.
So they still got to catch him, but it's there. It's there. I saw him grabbing his shoulder, so he could be a bit sore. You could see him with a week off soon, so it's going to be a good finish. Good finish 100%. To the Brownlow.
Great win by the Swans. Giants have some soul searching to do. Jev, next game.
I had so much fun watching this game for some reason.
Yes.
Just did nothing on Saturday night. I put on a heap of dollar bets. I was betting on Sheasel for 2, 3, 4, 5. I was on Zerha for 4, 5, and 6. I was on Eddie Ford for 4, 5, and 6. I had $1 on all of them. Had a heap of fun doing it. But the D's beat the Kangas by 3 points. It was just a fun game to watch. You go first, Das.
It is, and we never get serious either. But it is for a great cause. Obviously, they do with all like the breast cancer stuff on the game. And one of the ladies who I used to train, Tony, she was one of the head ambassadors. So she was on Channel 7 doing a lot of the the talking on the calls. So shout to Tony, you're a legend. I was messaging her the other day. So she was pretty excited because she's a massive D's fan as well. So that was really good that she got to get involved in that. But it was really nice to actually watch North
on a Saturday night.
So we were saying, I think Jack Zeeble, so he played like 300 games and he played 18 at the MCG. And you mentioned like Pendles has played 300 at the MCG.
Pendles has played 300 at the G.
So like for these guys, like it almost did look like at the start that it was like, wow, like where we are at the G. It's Saturday night. But as you did mention, the lockdown that Melbourne's role did early to not let Larkey try and contribute to the game. That was their biggest thing, that they just couldn't get that final piece to score. And some of their last kicks was so frustrating, but you were just cheering for them so much. So to see Eddie Ford out there, it was awesome. He looks like if North get good in a few years, he could be such an exciting player to everyone to get around.
I was so impressed by Eddie Ford's game. So impressed. Just moments like contests and tackles and the hanger and just everything he did. He looked like, who did he look like out there? I was just so impressed by the chops. Geez, I wanted to say he's only 22, 189 centimeters, so he's huge. We'll have to DM him soon saying, geez, you were good last night, chop.
And me and you have been big on. So Harry Sheezer was drafted as a forward.
Yes.
And we saw him go forward, or we thought he might the last couple of weeks, which he has. So he's kicked 2 goals the last 2 weeks. For 4 goals, he would have been $91.
Yes, we had him for 2. He was $5.25 for 2, and we had a slice of that. Yeah. So I had $2 on him for 2, 3, and 4. And I got my money back within $10. But geez, I was good looking forward to 3 and 4.
So I would just love to know, and if there's any North fans listening, like watching him play, what he could have done in the league by now, like what tape would have he had if he went to, I don't know, just like maybe a contending side or like an Adelaide or like I don't know, like Melbourne maybe the last couple of years. Like he's a gun. He's such a good footballer. Like, I know I can understand the comparisons to Dacos.
Yeah.
I can. I think Dacos is probably a little bit like faster, but Harry Sheasel is so fucking
loves the
good.
Ball in his hand. Who's he going to be like? Like, is he going to be like a reverse Isaac Heaney, where Heaney started his whole career as a forward? Now he's getting to midfield, but he's a 25 and 2 player, where Sheasel's done the apprenticeship of halfback and a mid, and he's had games where he's had 40, 35, 38, like all that. Now he's gone forward, and he's going to sort of meet as a 25 and 2 player now, and it's all about make your touches count sort of thing. Like
he can be like, without being as explosive, he'll just be like like not as explosive as a Dusty,
Yeah.
but he'll have big moments like Bontempelli. Like
Yeah.
like, Bont he's just a smooth move. Like he's got to you'll see him he'll have 25, 30. He'll get down forward, take him up because he did. He'll sit in the hole. He took some nice marks. And he just he did all his craft as an under 18 as a forward. And he just looks like he's going to kick a goal every time he has a shot. But Davies Uniacke, Jev, how good did he look on prime time?
Oh, he is the way he runs is so effortless and smooth, but he is flying out there. He is so there's 4 or 5 guys on my absolute pyramid radar. I said LDU a couple of weeks ago, but I was sick of them losing, but now he is right up there on the radar.
Yep.
Tom DeConning, Brodie Grundy, Will Day. I think there was one more, but I couldn't remember. Adam Treloar. They're 5 players on my pyramid radar. And just watching LDU on prime time, oh my God, he's a good footballer. If I'm any club out there, I am going, what do you want? How many years? He is just ready to explode in this league.
Is he what? He's and that last ball that went through his hands at the end, it was a bit of a sizzler, but I couldn't believe how much I think our whole group chat was you just wanted to see North get a win, especially after they dogged it the week before and then they were behind. You're like, fuck, are they going to do the reverse? And they're actually going to get the comeback. But my heart was racing out of my chest.
I was so excited for that end. They had a fucking crack. If LDU won that game, it would have been an all-timer. And Melbourne were just, weren't they? They're just. Stephen May was good to keep that, and Harrison Petty had good moments, and they're just.
Well, Oliver's dropped off a hill.
He's dropped off a cliff, hasn't he? An absolute cliff.
They just don't look like a good team you want it. So you can. I'm saying this is in I'm taking my Carlton hat off. You take your Swans hat off. You enjoy watching teams that are good to play. Melbourne, everything about them. Nah, I fucking hate it. I just do not want to watch them play football.
Nah.
They're just boring.
Boring as. They're lucky they've got Max Gawn. Guys like Neil Bullen we love, and Trent Rivers is going to be a good player, but
his goal was fantastic.
Yeah, that was a sick goal. Yeah, they're just dog's ass, aren't they?
Also, I got to give a shout because we love commentary. And I think Luke Darcy's call of Zerha's last goal, that was the best piece of commentary he's ever done. I was just he nailed it. So well done, Das. I feel like he butchers it a bit.
Yeah. It was good to see Zerha play really well on prime time as well, especially when Larkey was having a bit of a shocker, or they were game planning Larkey. It was really good to see Zerha step up, because there can be some Saturday 110 games at Tassie where we're not watching, and I feel like Zerha's not even playing out there. He wants to be on prime time, big Zerha. So, yeah, it was good to see him have a big game. Eddie Ford was fantastic. Melbourne get it done.
So I want to give a shout out. So Dylan Pappas messaged us this morning. Sunday thought for you lads. Track will want out of Melbourne. Not happy being sent back on after Darcy Moore deleted one of his lungs. And not happy about Clayton Oliver, like some of the off-season stuff. Who says no to this trade? Darcy Parish and Peter Wright. Straight swap for Christian Petrarca. Trade of the decade. We were both answering at the same time. I said you'd probably need to put in another sweetener if you're any chance to get Petrarca out of that football club, because he's worth about 3 first-rounders.
Nearly 5. I just feel like you're getting 2 lemons for Christian Petrarca. Darcy Parish and Clayton Oliver in the same midfield doesn't work. Peter Wright's not a fucking needle mover. He's just another Harrison Petty and stuff
But so if we're looking, so this is I don't
think he knows how good Petrarca is, that bloke. But anyway,
so you got Fritsch, who we like.
I don't like. You do. He's just a goal kicker. Yeah.
Yeah, I like his professional forward.
Hey, we got to give Jackson Archer some credit. He bathed Fritsch.
He did.
He gave Fritsch a bath after he had 5 kicked on him. Bobby Hill. That's the Archer name for you. His old man would have said, "Don't let that happen again."
His old man would have belted him throughout the week. You're not coming to Christmas, you run my name through the fucking mud.
And then he was great on Bailey Fritsch.
He had a great, because he got first hand, he's like, oh, that's what a bath is.
Yeah.
I don't want that anymore.
Yeah.
But when you got Petty,
You hate Harrison Petty. I hate him just as much as you.
Him,
Players just don't like watching you.
him, Van Ruin and Fritsch, like that's not scary. And then, watch out, we got Ben Brown coming in, or we got Big Disco Turner. Like it's just not a forward line.
It's not.
I don't like
It
them.
really isn't. They're not making finals, the D's.
I said that they wouldn't at the start of the year, but
Yeah,
saying that, I didn't think Petrarca would be injured. But
but Brisbane are taking their spot for sure. Brisbane are on fire.
Any else for this game, or we want to fucking ditch it?
Nah, let's just go Melbourne goal kickers.
Disco Turner too.
$2.65.
Nah, go North now.
North goal kickers.
Zerha for 4.
15-1. That's nice.
Good Zerha. Eddie Ford for 2. That was
$4.30. Oh, we love Eddie.
I got him at 4.80. Sheasel for 2.
$5.60. We had a slice of that.
That's about it.
Then Melbourne disposals. Anything?
Viney for 25. I did say Viney would come out.
He was $2.12 for 25, which is nice.
Not too bad. And then we go North Melbourne.
Yep.
Davey Juniak for 30.
He was $2.45. God, he was good.
And Sheasel 25, which won't be much.
He's a 25 was $1.20. What about that one? That LDU one where he fucking burst through the contest with the footy and gave the hands to Larky. Then Larky got mowed down by that first game of Kine and Brown that subbed on. That LDU running through the stoppage live, I was like, wowee. Like,
when he
look
holds
at
on to
that power.
So he runs, he looks like when Judd had the ball in his hand, or Cousins.
Yep.
Like that's how he's like moving, and the camera's just watching, and guys are just like
that's
peeling
a great
off the
call.
side.
Judd, you could see he was running with power, but it was so smooth and effortless, but he's just fast now, and that's what LDU looks like. I wouldn't say necessarily absolute power, but it's like a gazelle, and he's just faster than everyone. Yeah. Oh, God, I was impressed. Does he want to come to Sydney? Like, wherever he wants, just give him the bag. That was a good game. North Melbourne are fun to watch. Like, they have become watchable. I'm happy for them. And it looks like they mean something to them. They actually defend with their ass. Like, Aiden Core's been good the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Like, they defend with a bit of purpose. They smother. Like, I don't know. I'm impressed. Compared to Port Adelaide, I'm impressed with North Melbourne.
How much shit did we give Aiden Core at the start?
Yes.
I know, like we kick someone when they're down, but you have to. A lot of those transition goals that come to him aren't his fault. Like that's up the ground. So there's turnovers. They come in so quick. He's guarding 2 people. The camera pans over and you see he's 5 meters in between 2 guys.
Yeah.
He's just like, fuck boys. Like, can we get some fucking pressure on the ball upfield? So, but as you said, when everything's going well, I feel they're just starting, like the wins are coming.
Yeah.
They're coming.
And George Wardlaw is a star, bro. He's going to be a good footballer. He does it all. Like, he does it all. He's tough. He's inside. He's outside. He's pretty classy. He works hard. He smothers. Like, he's a junkyard dog.
I would put money on that he never wears pink boots.
No, not a chance. There's a lot of pink boots going along out there.
There's so many. Is it the thing for this round, or is everyone just wearing?
I don't know, but he won't be wearing them.
No way.
Yeah, that was good. Oh, sorry. Next game. Fuck, I'm bugging. Why am I so tired? Next game. The Bombers handle business. Beat the Eagles by 30 points. Geez, the Eagles had a crack in this game. If I'm a Bombers supporter, I'm a bit, you take your 4 points, but you probably wanted more. They let them hang around. It was 10 points for a while there in the fourth quarter, but they get it done. Do you watch this game, Das?
Yeah, I did. And I just want to say how impressive Jake Waterman is.
Yeah.
He is a genuine footballer. He had a couple of leads. It was like a 40-meter lead. He came out, took it up. He was going down the back side of the ground, helping out down back. He was covering a heap of area. Oscar Allen came back in the side, kicked 2 goals forward. Jamie Cripps was 2 goals 3. So the way that West Coast were playing, they're like, fuck, we're not just going to play this slow, small defensive stuff. We're just going to go for it. And I feel almost how you guys lost to Richmond. It was like, don't worry, our game plan is just going to hold up.
Yeah.
So they just didn't tighten the screws enough. And then they just kept kicking goals, but obviously they got on top in the end. But it was sort of like that. It was like Essendon would kick 3 or 4, and then West Coast would kick 1, but then Essendon didn't adjust, and then West Coast would kick a couple more, and like, fuck, now we're only a goal up. Like, all right, boys, let's kick back into gear. But Jake Hibbert will be listening to this, and I do want to say Sam Durham had a fucking Great game. It was like he was shot out of a cannon today, Jev. He was just running, tapping it on, anything, handball over the top, get to the next contest, tackle again. It was exactly what we said. You can always, with effort, like that doesn't take a skill, especially if you're fit enough. So I think he's second fittest in the side. I think when they do their preseason every year.
Yep.
And he was running all over the ground. We always know what Zach Merritt's going to do, especially against West Coast. Just have a really good game. And you can definitely tell, I think with Laverde, Essendon fans, correct me if I'm wrong, but with Ridley back in the side, it's like he can just float around a little bit more. He doesn't have to take the number one. So I think it takes a little bit of pressure off everyone else. So he took a couple of really nice marks late. But yeah, West Coast hung around, and I just reckon if you get Harley Reid back in that side, and I don't think Tim Kelly didn't play, did he?
Yeah.
So
no Tim Kelly. No. No Tim Kelly. You forget how good Oscar Allen is. Like first game back of a spell, he's kicked 2 goals, 4. Like imagine that's 4 goals, 2. And I don't even know if Harley Reid and Oscar Allen have played a game together yet. I think they might have played 1 or 2, but like. Waterman, Oscar Allen, Harley Reid, like they're Oscar Allen's the captain of the club. Like they're guys to build around. Tom Barras had 10 intercept marks to us.
He is huge.
He's a stud. He's a fucking stud.
Did he re-sign or is he still on the market?
Yeah, he did re-sign, but I think teams are still asking questions. I know the Swans are still asking. They're still calling.
So I've got a question. So Nick Cox gets subbed off again with 9 touches. The unicorn, it's because he doesn't know what footy kicks with, Jeff. He's still unsure to land a position. What do you do with him?
Oh, fuck. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he's that good. He's a unicorn. No one knows if he's good or not.
So I watched the first 10 minutes of First Crack before while we're waiting. By the way, guys, we're time stamping this. It's 9:30 p.m. on a Sunday night. The boys are getting to work. So Kingy was on. Ben Dixon was on. Ben Dixon said, I've seen enough. Essendon are playing in a prelim.
Wow.
He's like, I've seen enough. He's like, this team is good enough to go through. And he was going through their next draw. And he's like, I just don't see him losing a game. It's like Geelong, Collingwood, someone else. I'm like,
Jesus. See, there's parts of me that I love looking at a side that's got right stringer Langford, Laverde, Mackay, Ridley, Draper, Merritt, and like Durham and stuff. Then they've got the X factor in Nick Martin. So I like what I see out there, but I just don't trust them as far as I can throw them. I cannot buy stock in Essendon. I think they're just – I'm not buying, I'm not selling any stock. I think they are just – I'll believe it when I see it sort of thing.
Yeah. Do want to mention Jai Caldwell had a very good game.
Yeah.
So
didn't he kick the sealer? So I was listening on the radio and Zach Merritt straight up threw it to him in front of the umpires.
Threw it. So
and the umpire was right there and he just threw it and they didn't fucking call it.
Caldwell got it, handballed it out, went to someone, went to Merritt. He went to get it back and he just threw it like double arm, like under threw it and he kicked a goal from 50.
Yeah, and that was straight after I think West Coast had just kicked one to make it like 14 points and then they did that for game over. But yeah, Essendon were always like – if you're an Essendon supporter, you probably wanted to see more, but you just got to handle business. You got to win games. That's what they did. So happy for the Bombs. You got some odds on this game, Dallas?
Yeah. As I said before, Jeff, everything just fucking my phone's telling me. It's telling me I'm out of battery. I'm out of storage.
Oh, okay.
It's fact.
All right, no worries. I'll quickly find what Stringer was for 5. Is there any big? Stringer was 17-1 for 5. Any other big standouts?
Nate Caddy kicked 2.
Nate Caddy. Nah, he wasn't a big standout on StatMate.
Is there any other standouts that you're reading from that game?
Disposals, Sam Durham. Jalen Laverde was 15-1 for 25.
Yeah, wow.
And that's about it. I can't see anything else. Jake Stringer was $5.50 for 20. And apart from that, Dyson Heppel was 7-1 for a Snagglepuss.
Oh, he could have given it off as well. but he's like, nah, I'm taking this to the
I got
bank.
this. So sorry we don't have any odds for that game. Yeah. The Eagles. I can't wait to see Harley Reid. Do you know it's West Coast, Hawthorn, Optus Stadium, Sunday afternoon. Harley Reid, Nick Watson, next Sunday. Arvo. That'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll be hungover.
Oh, well. Fuck.
And it's Carlton Richmond before that.
It's Carlton Richmond Sunday, Arvo, 3:20. You going?
Maybe.
We might as well go have a couple. All right, final game of the weekend. Freo, Gold Coast. The Gold Coast Suns cannot win away from home. Freo win by 20 points. They just handled them. They just handled them. Do you watch this game, Das?
Yeah, let's put them in the furnace. They are as weak as water, Jev.
The Suns.
What do you do?
How can you not win one game from home?
Jev, and that's why until I know Kingy's been so big on it, he's like, oh, they're coming. Trust me, their profile. Shut up. Where are the finals played? Unless if you don't finish top 2, they're not being played up
on
at
the road.
Metricon, Suncorp, wherever the fuck you play, Northern Territory. They're not being played there. You can't get a win at the Igloo. You can't get one at Tassie. You can't get one at the G. You can't get one in Sydney. You can't get one in Perth.
Yep.
You're not a team. You are not a team. Jev, you play half your games away, half your games at home. Sun's no good.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel bad because our man, Jed Walter, Ben King's out of the side and he can't get a game.
He got dropped even when Ben King was injured. He was omitted. I thought, this is his big moment. Let him play the Ben King role out of full forward.
I don't know what's going on. And then Lukosius is missing shots. You've got, I don't know. Matt Rao really tried. Anderson looked really frustrated out there today. And then once it got to the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes, Freo just put on the brakes. They just put on it and they just held up and they made it really, really boring to watch. But Hayden Young, Jev, he had a really good game. He's a good player. He's a good player. He's the one in their midfield. So if you've got your Sarong and Brayshaw, almost like your Butters sort of type, like you're accumulated, but you're just around. He's more like
he's the point of difference. He's like your Chad. He's like a bit of Errol about him, the way he kicks it.
Tough, a bit tougher, a bit bigger. But if he can keep hitting the scoreboard, that's what you want. Almost like how Bond can float forward. Obviously, he's played a lot of his footy down back. But him kicking 3 goals today, everyone's just like, whoa.
Sort of like Josh Kelly. He's a bit like Josh Kelly, pretty classy on the outside, but it's good to have him around the ball.
It's almost perfect if Fife can mold him into that role that he did.
Yeah. Jeez, Fife.
Just to try and play a little bit more forward. Tracy was awesome.
Oh, we love Big Pizza Hut. I saw him get crunched.
Yeah. Put on a tackle.
Fuck. So, tell what I find weird. I heard something. It's maybe for experienced teams. But some teams love traveling, actually love going on the road. The Brisbane Lions going to Adelaide. So they've got to sleep in a hotel room by themselves. No kids, no family, nothing. It's a business trip. You sleep in a hotel room. You get a good night's sleep. You don't have to worry about your friends and family for tickets and everything or any of that crap because you're playing at home. You don't... you might have young kids at home that don't sleep that well or a wife that's on your ass. You don't have to do any chores or anything the morning of the game. You wake up in a hotel room. It's you and your guys on the road there to get a W. I just don't know why the Suns aren't like that. Some teams love traveling. Why do the Suns not like traveling?
I want to see how many road games they win last year. They must be 3 in their last.
Yeah, fuck. It wouldn't have been many,
20. It'd honestly be 3 in their last 20. So I just want to say we don't have too many West Coast, Gold Coast supporters on here. So weak. So weak. Rail and Anderson aren't getting any Brownlow votes.
Happy for Freo. This is a danger game for Freo. So happy they won. They just got to kick more than 12 goals. Well, 85 points. It needs to be about 100 if you're Freo. If you're gonna play in the prelim, you got to kick 100 points. The Swans kick 100 points every single goddamn week.
I'm certain that they could have. And they honestly just put the brakes on.
Right. So they've. Can you see Freo playing in a prelim final, Das? I don't think there's any good teams, really good teams. So we know it's Swans 1, Carlton 2, Collingwood 3. You could just easily argue it's Essendon, Freo, and probably the Lions after that.
I would have Brisbane at 4.
Yeah, Brisbane at 4. And then there's Hawthorn as well.
But as much as I love them, I just never saw them playing finals this year.
Yeah.
Or maybe straight. Yeah, I know. Like, it'd be awesome if they did. Like, it really would. We've had a week off.
If they win next week, they go to 8 wins.
And I said their line at the start of the season was 8.5. And I said they're going to beat that.
Yeah. Wow. There you go. So I can tell you Hayden Young paid 51-1 for 3, which would have been nice.
That's so nice.
He was 13 for 1 for 2. David Swallow was 14 for 1 for 2.
What if he was a sub? He's been coming on kicking snags.
Yeah, they subbed off Bailey Humphrey. Shattered. Our boy.
He just can't get a kick at the moment.
Will Graham was 6-1. Took Miller was 335 for 30. Sean Darcy was 750 for 20.
I just hate. So when they do these player ratings, Jev, he was the second highest rated player for the round, and I just does me head in.
Yeah.
DeConing was great, don't get me wrong, but he was the highest score this year. I'm like,
yeah, you had 3 ruckmen in that top 5 because Sam DeConning played ruck. So you've had Tom DeConning, Sean Darcy, and fucking Sam DeConning in the top 5 of the fucking week. Yeah, I saw that.
oh, they've already clipped Ben Dixon's thing saying they're a lock. That's funny. All right, well, let's have a look at next week because now that everyone's played their bye, so we're back to a full slate of games, Jeb. So we've got Brisbane and Melbourne at the Gabba.
Lions are dead set fucking
I think
sturdies.
I've only got one tip wrong the last 2 weeks as well. So we're on fire. So Brisbane are winning this.
Yeah,
Melbourne
they'll kick 120 points on Melbourne.
Next one, North Melbourne and the Western Bulldogs.
Oh, Bont off a bye. Das, Bont and Marvel off a bye. As good as North are going, and I think this could be, I don't know what the over-under is, but I reckon this could be like over 200 points kicked. Like if you're getting like 180 for the over-under.
Oh, I'm just going to get this up now, Jeff. We're going to do an old guess the line. I'll just get them up. I've got them here. So Brisbane, Melbourne, what do you think it is?
20 points.
26.5.
Yeah, and that's
Who
fair.
would you
It's
take?
probably a good line.
Who would you take?
The Lions. So I reckon they're going to kick a lot of points. They're a beautiful kicking team.
So would I. North Melbourne, Western Bulldogs?
25.5 points.
34.5. Who are we taking?
I'm going to take North. I'm going to keep this hot streak alive.
I want to take North.
The Dogs put too much talent on the park. I'll take the Dogs. I'll take North. I love North at the moment.
We're taking North. Yeah. I'm telling you. Fremantle and Sydney Fremantle?
The Showtime Swans. Probably about 24.5.
That's exactly what it is. Who are we taking?
Swans. The Showtime Swans. We beat every team by 40 points.
Gold Coast, Collingwood.
This game's fucked. I can see here that Collingwood are favourites just because on the AFL app. So I'm going to say Collingwood by about 3.5 points.
It's 2.5.
2.5. The Suns at home are undefeated. You have to take those Gold Coast points.
It's fucked.
I know we call them cowards on the road, but you have to take those Gold Coast points.
Yeah. Next one, Geelong and Essendon. Wow.
It's at the MCG. I'm going to say the Bombers by about 7.5.
5.5.
5.5. I'll take the Bombers. I think the Cats are cheeks. And no Hawkins.
And no danger.
Loves playing thing. No danger. Yeah, that Bombers points is delicious.
I'm taking the Cats.
Why?
I just think they're too good of a side. They've got two. We just pants them last week, and they just fucking love Essendon. It's just the bunnies.
Yeah, but Hawkins loves Essendon.
If Essendon win this, I believe Essendon are a good side.
The Scott sisters going head to head, is it?
I just don't think they're any. Anyway, Adelaide and the Giants.
Is it in Adelaide?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. It's like a pick'em. That's 0.5 points, isn't it?
2.5 to the Giants.
Giants are favourites by 2.5. I would think the Giants win. I think they're better than the Crows.
Have you seen Riley Thilthorpe? The video.
He is fucking huge, bro. And he's got the beard. Oh, my God, he's looking good. What have they been feeding him?
He could have been their secret monster this year because apparently all preseason they were saying he's He's our guy.
Oh, my God. He's just been eating the boy. He looks like country strong. Like, I'm pumped to watch him play now.
St Kilda, Port Adelaide.
Under the lid. Oh, that's got to be another 2.5 points.
It is 2.5 to St Kilda.
Yeah. Port Adelaide like it at Marvel. I think they're so weak, but it's probably one of those games they beat St Kilda by 10 goals and everyone starts believing again sort of thing. But, I wouldn't even know what side to lean, bro.
I don't have a side. I'll just tip Port because I like Butters better than any.
I'm interested in this. Richmond Carlton at the G. It's got to be in the 30s to 40s. It's got to be 38.5, doesn't it?
36.5. I've already clicked Carlton.
6 goals. Would you take the Blues? You going to pump them? Hey, this is one of the only times you play them twice in a year, isn't it? It's usually round 1 and that's it.
That's it.
So you're finally playing them again. They played really well against you round 1 on that Thursday night.
They always play well against us.
But you think this 36.5 isn't enough?
I honestly, I said it 2 weeks ago. I think once we got to that bye, we weren't playing that well. I think we're honestly going to go on a run where it's like we're going to launch and we're really going to see Carlton are really, really just a good football side, really fucking dominant. Just guys like Elijah Holland's doing things. Akers always in the hole. I just feel that we're coming. I think a few big bags are on their way. So I think the Blues and this is a cracking round.
Yeah.
West Coast Hawthorn. I'm so excited to watch. Hawks are genuinely my second love. I just love so many of their players. Oh my God. Do you see Jack, you're on TikTok. Jack Ginnivan did a video of.
Oh, he ranked the celebrations. I did see that.
He's like Nick Watson. He's like, yeah, shushing people. That sucks after you kick 17 points.
Yeah, I did say that. I reckon it's about 10.5 Hawthorn.
It's 15.5.
Oh, geez, I'd probably take the Eagles.
I would take the Eagles line. I think Hawthorn win close.
We're going to hit 20K followers this week, so we've got a big announcement on the 100K show this week, Das.
We might be there. We're there.
And I'll tell you what I was thinking.
As we talk live, we're there.
We're at 20K. Let's
go.
Now. How does it look?
It looks awesome. I'm going to screenshot it right now.
Let's fucking go. Halfway through the roast.
Are we on the dong? 20 on the dong? Because I might say something we get fucking down one. 20,002, Jev.
Let's go.
Do I post it? I'll post something tomorrow morning.
Yeah, first thing tomorrow morning when people wake up. Hey, no, we got to end the show. I was going to say, when it's Carlton Sydney grand final day, could you see 7 players getting tagged? I had a chat about this with our man Pricey today. Rowbottom to Cripps, James Jordan to Sam Walsh.
Yeah.
Let's say Chincotta to Warner.
Just because of the running, because he can sort of run.
Maybe so Akers makes it hard for Goulden.
On the wing.
Yep.
He'd just have to.
Cottrell.
Play Cottrell on him because
George Hewitt on Heaney.
Yep.
Do Conning and Grundy just go head to head?
Charlie, who's tagging?
Does someone go to Nick Blakey?
Who's half forward? Who's quick enough?
So is that Chincotta on Blakey, or does he go to Chad?
I reckon he goes to Chad.
Yeah. It could just be a game of both coaches going, we are not getting done by Sam Walsh. We are not getting done by Pat Cripps. And then Voss was like, I'm not letting Chad win this Norm Smith medal, this, that. I'm not letting Errol win the Norm Smith. And 7 people are getting tagged. You
know what you got to do? You just can't. You got to put someone in the hole for Charlie so he can't run in, and you need body on. That's where, when it comes in high, he's got to wrestle, and then you get a third one over the top. It's the easiest way to defend him. It's when it's a loose ball comes in, and he'll jump early, he'll turn, and he'll get his arm pulled, and it's just it's all over. You can't let him have those one-on-ones.
Oh, it's going to be a good game if it happens.
What do you mean? It's happening. I'm so convinced it's going to happen.
I reckon it's going to be you guys second, Collingwood third, which means you play first final, then you don't meet again till the grand final if you both make it. I want that to be the prelim so bad. Carlton, Collingwood, MCG, 140,000 cunts on the roof, cunts outside, everyone everywhere.
It'll be, you know, the Taylor Swift concert, everyone couldn't get in.
That will be it. Imagine that.
They would have to put screens up outside.
Fuck. Oh, anyway. All right, let's go. It's been an hour 13. There's only 6 games this weekend.
Awesome.
Morg's going to kill us.
No, Morg's in. By the way, guys, if everyone wants to just send us a DM, not only because we got to 20k, but Morg's in Japan and he still has to edit this shit.
Yeah. Oh, he won't put much love into this one. I hope we haven't fucked the audio.
Nah, it's a good show.
All right, see you, bros.
See you, brothies.
Mate.